Hi, my name's Joe Moretti. This short video is just going to demonstrate a range of useful workflows. We're going to look at getting files from the cloud. In this case, I'm going to use Dropbox. We're going to use a whiteboard app, such as Explain Everything. You can use a free app like Show Me. There's just a couple of things that you need to note when you're doing that, which I'll talk about. Pages, which is our equivalent of Word. Keynote, which is our equivalent of PowerPoint. So starting with Explain Everything and creating a new project, what's important here is that you can bring in images, bring in files. Explain Everything is compatible with PowerPoint and Keynote. The important thing is that it's easy to just be able to pick up a pen, hit record, and be able to do this at the same time. So you could spell J-O-E, for example. Review your work and then be able to export it easily. That's the kind of important functions you're looking for. Combined with something like AirPlay, where you're wirelessly connected to a projector, this is great because you've then got a mobile whiteboard in your classroom. As far as export options go, you want to be able to export to video, so I'll just demonstrate that very quickly. I hit video and hit save video, it goes to my camera roll. That's great. So if we take that concept a kind of step further and now look at compatibility with something like PowerPoint or Keynote, what you're looking for here, let's just find one. There are my slides. As opposed to just presenting slides from the front of the classroom, you could share this to your students, excuse me, export and maybe share via AirDrop, or Google Drive or Shobi or whatever else you're using, and the students can now open this into our new tool, the whiteboard app. I tend to use Explain Everything because I think it's the best. I think it's got the most functions that I want, and I'll show you what you need to do as you're doing this kind of import. With Explain Everything, you want to select separate slides, so it'll put these slides onto a separate slide in Explain Everything, and they'll turn up in the bottom corner here. Sorry, that's a mistake. Let's come off that. There you see where it says 1 to 4. I can jump between the slides easily enough. Yeah. Then I can do what I was doing before, record my voice, annotate over the top, and as before, export the whole thing to video. Do note, if you were to create this project file and Explain Everything, add your slides, etc., and then select project, not video, and share that to the students in that format, they can bring that into Explain Everything with all the work scaffolded by you. So it becomes a kind of digital worksheet, but it's a lot more than that because of the media they can add. So do consider using the export to project file option. Next, let's look at the same sort of idea going into Explain Everything. Okay, so not Explain Everything, sorry, Keynote, our second app. So I'm now going from PowerPoint or Keynote into Keynote. Now, why would I do that? What are the options that this is going to give me? Well, Keynote's been updated in the past year, and it's now got a drawing tool and it has an audio tool. Now, you can't do them at the same time as you would with Explain Everything, but it's great that you can draw directly on these slides, and more importantly, that you can easily add audio. So I'm now just working in what was a PowerPoint file. I'm speaking, I might be adding audio as an opinion or answering a question that's on the slide. You can put the context on this, but it's pretty straightforward. Hit stop. You've got basic editing tools. You can change the end and start points easily enough. And once you insert it, the audio turns up on the slide. Great. The drawing tool I'll demonstrate very, very quickly. Pick up the color you want, pick up the tool you want to use, and basically draw. Now, having done that, the export options on this are quite exciting. because okay, PDF would be would lose any audio, it would lose any video, PowerPoint similarly, but I can actually export that to movie now. I can choose the timing between the slides and send that to the cloud or to my camera roll. I'm going quite quickly here. I'm trying to keep this movie short. You know, you can review this at any time that you like by just going back over sections. But it should cover what you need to know. To use this. There we go. That's Keynote. Now we've got the same functions in Pages, in that I can do all of the audio and the pencil, etc. And I'm going to do a similar thing actually. Let's just bring a Word document into Pages. It's the same workflows over and over again, which makes it easy for the students and for the teachers, of course. And I thought I'd point out a couple of things that you should know. First of all, it will alert you if there are any font changes, and there are bound to be some between your Word documents and Pages, but it will always substitute something similar. I'm going to add an image here. Let's add an image of Jupiter. And I want you to see how friendly Pages is when it comes to handling images. If I put my thumb and forefinger on the image and just tap and hold and then start to turn the image, you can see I've got all the functions that I want here. And I would consider using Pages with younger children as opposed to Word, because it is very friendly, it's beautifully laid out. It would also allow me to, do things like add borders or shadows to images. But the one I want to show you is under the menu item Image. Select that and then select Instant Alpha, and then drag on the black area around your image or other color that you want to get rid of, and you'll see that I can finesse an image. And I think it's important for images to look appealing. Yeah. What else? Well, I've shown you drawing and audio. Let's just do the audio again quite quickly. I'm doing this for a particular reason. You'll see why when we export the file. And let's make a space here and insert our video. Now remember, this video could be a reworked PowerPoint file, a Keynote file that's then been exported to video. And now I can insert and resize that, and my Word document has now become a multimedia document. Very exciting. The export options are very similar to Keynote. Again, be aware that PDF and Word will flatten any media like audio and video, and it won't play. Consider using Pages templates to save work for yourself. If you're using the same format for things, create a template. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Or indeed sending out a template to your students where you're scaffolding something if you're reusing the same systems or layouts. With EPUB, a couple of things you should be aware of. You can now choose an image to be your cover of your book, which is kind of cool. And you really should be aware of this advanced option that you need to deselect. Switch off Apple Books compatibility. You're not sending it to the bookstore, and that will enable your audio and your movie to work. You can title it if you want to. Let's just call that demo and export it. Now when you send it to your students, you should be aware that they will need to read it in books. It's not compatible with Book Creator. It's nothing to do with that. This is very much an EPUB standardized format. But it's what happens when students open this and use it in books that is exciting. So you've got all your audio, you've got your video. Your video can go full screen. They can do things like select a word, look it up using sort of a dictionary. Sometimes, of course, the terms of the dictionary definitions are more complicated than the word. We can search. If we tap on the document and tap on search, we can search for all the entries, tap on them, and we'll jump straight there. Try doing that with a photocopy. You can tap on a word and then drag down to change the color and add a note, and say something like Mars ... You can add a bookmark, top right hand corner. This is kind of great for years 4, maybe 5 and up, and certainly secondary. It's absolutely ideal. Let's just change the color of this note and put another note on it. And you can't export them, unfortunately, once they're in books. Once they're in there, you're kind of stuck with it. But it's great for doing something with a document with a lot of text, obviously adding media to it. Little things like being able to change the font size if a student needs a larger font size or a different color. There are some basic font changes you can do, so that those students that need different color selections, brightness, etc., all of that's built in there. Last thing, if you go back to the index top left here, the bookmark will be there and your notes will be there color coded. Tap on the note and you jump straight back to it. So I've kind of bashed through that quite quickly. Revisit any bit you need to look at slowly, but anything wrong with that workflow, email me and I'll change it. Hopefully it'll do what you want, and hopefully you'll find it to be a really useful set of workflows for using with your students and in your classroom. Thanks for listening.